KSL's public records fight for access to the Utah Attorney General's work calendar came to a close in 2024.
After 2 years, Sean Reyes' office agreed to hand over the calendar. KSL investigative reporter Daniela Rivera shows us how we got to this point.
It started with a routine records request in November 2022. The KSL investigators wanted to see Attorney General Sean Reyes' official work calendar. Even though other elected and public officials have shared copies of their calendars with KSL journalists, Reyes' office said no. So KSL producer Annie Knox took our request to Utah's State Records Committee, where members decided, according to Utah's public records law, the calendar should be released. But Reyes' efforts to keep you from seeing what he's been up to in office didn't end there. The AG's office took the KSL investigators to court to avoid releasing the calendar.
It's unfortunate that his office is fighting to keep the public from knowing this basic information.
Can I ask you a quick question about why you're fighting to keep your work calendar secret from the public? Sean, why are you
to keep a work calendar?
We caught up with Reyes in St. George in November 2023, a year after our initial request.
I can tell you, as far as calendars, those aren't records. They never have been. And I don't think they are currently.
In February 2024, a judge disagreed. He sided with the KSL investigators and the State Records Committee's interpretation of Utah law and ordered the release of the calendar. That day, we requested more of the calendar. But hours later, Utah lawmakers rushed to change the law, making all public and elected officials' calendars secret moving forward. A bill Utah Governor Spencer Cox signed the next day.
The AG's calendar was a public record when Ms. Knox made her request, and it remains a presumptively public record today.
Our new request landed us back in front of the State Records Committee in September, where members once again decided in favor of transparency.
The records should be released.
After fighting to keep the records from the public on the taxpayers' dime for nearly 2 years, Reyes' office settled the case in November and released more than 9,000 pages of calendar entries to the KSL investigators. But that victory is short-lived. KSL News Director Leona Wood called the move by Utah's legislature and governor to restrict the public's access to calendars going forward disappointing.
We want the public to benefit from the transparency that we fought for.
Daniela Rivera, KSL 5 News.